Hey, how's it going? And today I'm excited to do an update to my movable camera pawn that I just did in that tutorial. And I can go forward, I can go back, I could go left and right, but I could not go up and down, which I desperately wanted to be able to do. So I did a little bit more research and I figured out how I can make this the camera go up and down and actually make the camera go a lot smoother. So that's what I'm going to do in this tutorial. I appreciate you watching and subscribing. So anyway, what we're going to do this, there's not too much we got to do, but we're going to go into our BP pawn here, and there's a couple interesting settings that I didn't know we could do. So if we go into character movement and we search for land, we can actually change the default land movement mode from walking to flying. And then if we go on the cine camera here and we search for rotation, there's this option, use pawn control rotation. These two settings really make the camera move a lot more smoothly. So if I hit compile and save, I go into the map and I hit play. Now when I hit W and I let go, it's easing out. It glides to a stop. So if I pull out and I let go, I just barely touch the S key. It's a lot more graceful and smooth. So it's really awesome because it's very graceful now. So that's great. And I still have all the same functionality. It seems very responsive. The controls seem very responsive. The thing I need to work on is panning, how to smooth that pan motion out. But other than that, the forward and backwards and the side movements are very smooth. So that's great. Now the only thing I really wanted to do was be able to go up or down as if to do an aerial shot or do a pedestal up or pedestal down shot. So that's not too hard to do, and I've done tutorials similar to how you amend your enhanced input functions. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Now the reason why we can't go up or down is because we borrowed all of our movement capabilities from the first person player character, and that player character cannot go up or down. He or she is ground based, so we need to go back and actually add in that ability because we don't have it. But the good news is all of this is mostly set up for us already. So if we go into the first person folder and then we go into input, we'll be using, this is what we're using, the input mapping context. This is what we're using. We're kind of tapping into that. So all we have to do first is if we click into actions, you'll see the abilities that we're restricted to. We can jump, we can look, we can move and shoot, but you'll notice there's no up or down here. So it's easy enough to add that. All we have to do is right click, go to input, input action, and we want to stay with this naming convention, otherwise it'll be hard to find this. So we're going to go IA underscore and we'll just call it up, down. And that's all we have to do, but then we need to click into here. And this is very important. You know how in a blueprint where you have a variable, you're selecting a variable like an integer or a float, and then you got to set like a value type. Same thing here. Right now it's just set to Boolean by default, but basically we can set it to one variable, two variables, or three variables. So in this case, since we're just going to be using the keyboard E, one single keyboard press, all we really need is a single float value. But if we put 2, we would have 2 variables available to us when we go to do our scripting. But we just need one variable for right now, so we'll just leave it set to 1D. So just think of it as you're getting one variable. Do you want X? So this is basically X, X and Y, X, Y, and Z. So we just want X. So we're going to go ahead and compile and save that. And that's all we need to do. Actually, just save that. Then if we come back into here, let's go back into our map. We just go up one level, and now we can come into here, and then we can add our mapping. And this is exactly what we used to do through the project settings. If you come into input here, but if you come there now, you get this message saying, hey, this is now deprecated. Go do it somewhere else. And this is where they want us to do it now. So to add a mapping, it's very similar to how we used to do it. We're just going to click that plus sign, and then we're just going to search for the input action we just added, which is the up down right here. And then we're just going to almost do like the bindings that we used to do. We're just going to look for, I believe the default is E for up. So we're going to go E there. And then the modifier, we need to add a modifier here. And this is going to be a scalar value. And then by default, if we click here, you'll see it's all set 111. So this is for X, Y, and Z, but we're just needing one of these. We just need the X value. That's all that we need here for that. So now we need going to add another key here to come down. And so we'll add another mapping and we'll search for binding, I guess it is. I got messed up on this before because I picked O and the O looks so similar to the Q. I picked the wrong one. I thought it was broken, but I selected O instead of Q. And I didn't know this. I just learned this myself. We're going to add an element here. Before, I would add a scalar and put it all at -1. But all we need to do for here is just click negate. And that's the same almost as doing -1. So that's all we need to do here. And then we'll just go save. So we're done. Now we're going to come back in here, go into the BP pawn, and in our event graph, we're going to add now the ability to go up and down. So we're going to right click and we're going to search for enhanced input function, and this is this one right here, and make sure it's under the action events because there's some values right underneath it. We want that one. Since it's a keyboard event, we want started, which is the same as press. And here's where I got tripped up a little bit on this because there's something that we're looking for, and it's called get control rotation. So if we'd added 2D axis, we would have the ability to split this, but you see we just have that one value. So, but if we'd added 2, we'd have the option to split this and have to break that into two variables. We'd have the X and Y, but we just have the X right now as a float. So anyway, we're going to right click and search for get control rotation, and it needs to be for the pawn. Whoops, what did I do? I have a new computer and it just seems, I guess I gotta adjust the mouse. So get control rotation right here, and then what we're going to do is on this value here we're going to split that because we just want the X value there. And the next thing we're going to search for is a get up vector. So we're going to go get up, and this is a math. This is not this. These are not a transformation. This is a get up. Should we type in vector? Or maybe math. So let's see. Get up math. This one right here. I also got tripped up on this. I got that messed up. So, and then the last thing we're going to do is we're just going to copy this one up here. So just go Control D and get a copy of that. And this is all we have to do. These are all the nodes we need. And I need to click on that and split that one. And so how we're going to do this is just X goes into X, and the return value goes into world direction, and then start goes into there, that exact pin, and then our action value goes into there, like that. And I know those wires are crossing, but that's it. And as far as I know, that's all we have to do. So now hit compile and save, and we come in here and I hit play. Here we are, and I hit W, I'm hitting S now, and I'm still going out. And now if I hit E, I'm going up. And I can keep hitting it. Not like I'm going up aggressively, but if I hit it fast, I can kind of go up. But look, now we're up. This is exactly what I was wanting to do now. And then if I hit this, I can get a shot coming in like that above the ground. So I'm still working out all these controls, but this is the gist of it, you know. And then if I hit Q, I can get back on the ground, coming back down. So just keep experimenting with these controls. I'm sure we can eventually make them completely smooth. But to be completely honest with you, this is all the control that I need for right now to get the kind of shots that I'm looking for. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Take care, and I will talk to you next time.